this, February 27th, 2005, 15 years ago tonight. John Scott Dickson with a couple of goals against the Saginaw Spirit. And here is John Scott Dickson joining us up here right now. Do you remember that game 15 years ago?
Well, I don't remember it, but I said just go to the net and you score goals.
There you
right?
go.
So, no, exciting time right now.
It's that easy. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to Windsor. You were just telling me you don't get down here too often.
Yeah, the closest I've been, I've been in Kansas City for the last 9 years. So close I've been is to Toledo, and I made a couple trips back home. My parents are in Barrie, but it's tough. Got a family now and the kids, so traveling with 2 kids and now a third. I just had a third baby 2 weeks ago. So
good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, so it's tough.
Second round pick in 2000. You come to Windsor. Let's kind of walk through your career as a Spitfire and beyond. Talk about that first season as you joined the Windsor Spitfires. What did you know coming into the Windsor arena?
Yeah, I knew. I had Tom Webster was my coach that year, and he likes his veteran players.
Yep.
So you had to work your way into the lineup, and that year I ended up going to under 17 as well. So that was a good little jumping point for me. And then I ended up having in the playoffs that year more points than I had in the regular season, but you just kind of grow and develop, and Tom Webster and the group of guys we had were unbelievable that year as well. So our captain Craig Mahan at the time, and guys that we had there, Craig Kennedy, those guys were unbelievable, and they treated the younger guys pretty good.
And we just had Craig on a couple weeks ago right here in the same spot with an alumni conversation. So you're the second round pick in 2000. Do you remember who the third round pick was?
I do not, actually. That's a good question.
Cam Jansen?
I was going to say Cam, or I didn't know if Rob Henniger was in that mix too. I think he may have been 4th or 5th, or Dave. Yeah, that was
some names from the past.
Yes.
What do you remember about Cam Jansen? Was that some stories? I'm sure.
Yeah, we got to hang out a lot. There's some stories, probably. Keep those to myself. But we got to high school together, Riverside, and then. I believe we went to St. Joe as well. So, no, he was a good guy to us, and we had a good little group there once we got older and hung out quite a bit.
So you played 5 years with the Windsor Spitfires. Obviously, we've been talking about you quite a bit. Your name has come up quite a bit in conversation as Luke Boka was tracking you down for the most games played as a Windsor Spitfire. Did you know there was a chance that was going to be broken this year? Do you even remember the fact that you were the games played leader?
Yeah, no, I remember. I take pride in that. Yeah. You play a lot of games, and I think it says a lot about who Luke is as a person as well. I mean, there's some loyalty there. He's been here for 300 plus games now, and it says a lot about the organization. That's kind of how I felt. I was here my whole career, and we had a few coaching changes in my career while I was here, but I enjoyed my time here. I was treated very well, and met a lot of great people, and people that I get to still hang out with today. My billet family is here, and
I was going to ask you about
out,
that. Yeah, I talked to somebody who said you were talking with your billet family, so you stay in contact then, obviously.
Yes, no, we definitely do, which is great. I mean, I was like one of their own, so that's always good when you move away from home at 16 years old.
Let's see, you're going to the net for a couple more against Erie here back in the day.
Yeah, you go to the net, go to that area, right? That's where you got to go.
There you go.
So, that's what you, as a coach, that's what I try to teach guys. Go to the net. That's where you score goals. You got to pay the price a little bit. But, those were some good times. Those are memories. And that playoff run the last year, I mean, I guess, you don't want to call it a playoff run, but the first round series was something to remember. And then we obviously played London that next round.
Well, so. I was going to ask you about that playoff run. You were down 0-3 to the Sioux Greyhounds. You scored the overtime. Was it a double overtime winner?
There was an overtime winner in Game 5 and then Game 7. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was. I mean, hey, I'll take those. I'll take that praise any chance I can get it. Those are good memories. We had a good group of guys, and obviously we played London the next round, so we know how that went. That was the team that was, I guess, to set the record that year. And stuff,
that's right.
So.
5 years of the Windsor Spitfires, 306 games played. Luke has now set that record of 308. We'll talk to Luke coming up here a little bit later on tonight. So you leave the Windsor Spitfires, you move on to university. Tell us where you went and how you did there.
Yeah, I went to University of New Brunswick, where a few Windsor Spitfires went. Craig Mahan went there, Dave Bowman, Rob Henniger went there, and really came into my own as a player. It was a good development phase for me. I think my last couple years here in Windsor, and then moving into university hockey, it was good for my game and overall defense, offense, and we won. I got to win a couple national championships there. Won one with a couple guys with Rob Henniger and Dave Bowman. Won 2 with Dave. So, those were good times. And then after that, it was pro hockey.
And your time in the ECHL has now become a time behind the bench and director of hockey operations with the Kansas City team. Was coaching kind of the end goal all along once your playing career was over?
Yeah, I think, I felt that I was a player that had some hockey hockey IQ and you know, could think the game a little bit. So, you know, once I got into the pro game and then I started getting later in my career, you know, my last year I got to be a player assistant, so that kind of helped a little bit, and then became a full-time assistant and then rolled into a head coaching job.
So how do you end up being free tonight? What's your schedule?
Well,
like
I got relieved of my duties, so that was, yeah. So I'm in my 4th year, and you know, the business of hockey,
yes,
right?
For sure.
You're a coach, you get hired to get fired at some point, and it's all part of it. No bitterness on my end. You know, I've got to spend some time with my family. It's a silver lining, I guess. Got to go to a daddy-daughter dance not too long ago, so you know, there's some silver lining there, but everything happens for a reason, and you can't get too upset about it. You got to move on and keep pushing forward.
Well, one of the Spitfires assistants right now is Mike Weber, who you played with when he was a rookie. Can you tell us any stories about Mike that you can share?
He was a great kid coming up. I mean, he was very quiet, but he came to work every day, worked hard, and you know, he was someone that a lot of the older guys really liked. He just went about his business and did his job, and he obviously developed into a pretty good player. And I'm sure, you know, from what I hear, he's a pretty good coach as well.
We ask every alumni player that comes through here that played at the Windsor Arena, your best memory of the Windsor Arena.
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. I mean, you have some playoff wins and stuff like that, but the one that stands out to me was when Steve Ott scored his 50th goal. It was a penalty shot.
Yes.
I believe we were rolling in. It was 3 games in a row. He had a hat trick. He was at 40, and I think he went to 49. Then he ended up scoring. I think it was Sarnia we played as well at the barn, and I was saying it on the way over here. It felt like the arena was shaking, how loud it was that night. So that would be probably the memory that really sticks out for me.
John Scott Dickson, a number 2 now on the list, but still up there in the top 5 games played. John Scott, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And be
Thanks
back
for
here at the
having me.
WFCU Center.